Jake Morrison was drinking his morning coffee when the world changed forever. He stood in the command center of Earth's Global Defense Command, watching the rain fall against the large windows that looked out over the Colorado mountains. It was a normal Tuesday morning, or so he thought. The alarm started ringing at exactly 9:15. Red lights flashed across every screen in the room and soldiers rushed to their stations. Jake put down his coffee mug and walked quickly to the main console where Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez was already working. "What do we have, Rodriguez?" Jake asked, his voice calm despite the chaos around him. "Sir, we're getting a transmission through the quantum channels." "It's not from any Earth station," Amy replied, her fingers moving fast over the keyboard. "The signal is coming from outside our solar system." Jake felt his stomach drop. For 50 years, humans had been listening to space, hoping to hear from other life forms. They had finally gotten their wish, but something told him this was not going to be good news. "Put it on the main screen," Jake ordered. The room went quiet as strange symbols appeared on the giant screen at the front of the command center. Slowly, the alien writing began to change into English letters. The translation system that Earth's best scientists had built was working. The message was short and direct. Jake read it out loud so everyone could hear. "People of Earth, you are ordered to appear before the Galactic Council within 30 days. You will demonstrate your military capabilities to prove you deserve to keep your world. If you fail this test, your species will be moved to a new planet where you cannot harm others. You have been warned." The room stayed silent for a long moment. Then everyone started talking at once. Jake raised his hand for quiet and read the message again, making sure he had not missed anything important. "Get me Admiral Carter on the line." "Right now," Jake told Amy. "And call an emergency meeting of all department heads. We need to move fast." Within an hour, the war room at Global Defense Command was full of Earth's top military leaders. Admiral Lisa Carter sat at the head of the long table, her gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. She had been a soldier for 30 years and had never seen anything like this. "Ladies and gentlemen," Lisa began, "we all know why we're here. The aliens think we're just another primitive species that needs to be controlled. They're about to learn how wrong they are." Dr. Peter Williams raised his hand. He was the head of the Advanced Weapons Division, a secret department that most people didn't even know existed. "Admiral, we've been preparing for this day for decades. Ever since we first heard alien signals, we knew they would eventually come looking for us." "What do you mean, Peter?" asked Colonel Ryan Brooks, who was in charge of special operations. Peter smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. "We've been very busy down in the deep labs. The aliens think they know what human technology looks like because they've been watching our space program. They see our rockets and think that's all we have. They have no idea what we've really been building." Lisa nodded. "Show them, Peter." Peter stood up and walked to the wall screen. He pressed a few buttons, and images began to appear. The first picture showed a sleek black spacecraft that looked nothing like the rockets the world knew about. "This is the UES Defiance," Peter said. "It's powered by controlled antimatter reactions. It can travel faster than anything the aliens have in their files about us, and it's just one of 50 ships we've built in secret." The next image showed soldiers in strange silver suits. They looked like normal humans, but something was different about them. "These are our enhanced soldiers," Peter continued. "They have computer chips in their brains that let them think and react faster than any normal human. They can fight in space, underwater, or in environments that would kill regular people in seconds." Colonel Brooks leaned forward in his chair. "How many of these enhanced soldiers do we have?" 3,000, Peter replied. "All volunteers from our best special forces units. They've been training for 5 years in secret bases around the world." Lisa looked around the table at the shocked faces of her officers. "The aliens made one big mistake. They assumed we would be scared and helpless when they came for us. They don't understand that humans have been fighting wars for thousands of years. We know how to survive when the odds are against us." Captain Amy Rodriguez, who had been promoted during the meeting, spoke up. "Admiral, what exactly are we going to show them?" "Everything," Lisa replied. "We're going to show them weapons they've never seen before. We're going to show them ships that use technology their scientists think is impossible. And we're going to show them that humans don't give up, even when facing an entire galaxy of enemies. Dr. Williams pulled up another image. This one showed a strange device that looked like a metal ball covered in lights. "This is our secret weapon," he said quietly. "It's based on physics that we discovered 20 years ago. Even the most advanced alien civilizations don't know about this technology yet." "What does it do?" Jake asked. "It stops other technology from working," Peter explained. "Any alien ship or weapon that gets too close to this device will simply turn off. Not destroyed, not damaged, just turned off, like someone pulled the plug." The room went quiet again as everyone thought about what this meant. Earth wasn't just going to defend itself. Earth was going to shock the entire galaxy. Over the next few days, military bases all over Earth became busy with activity. Soldiers who had been told they were training for secret missions finally learned what their real job was. Pilots who had been flying experimental aircraft discovered they would be taking those same ships into space to face alien fleets. Jake spent most of his time in meetings with world leaders, explaining the situation and getting permission to use Earth's most secret weapons. Some presidents and prime ministers were scared, others were excited. All of them agreed that humanity needed to make a strong showing at this Galactic Council meeting. Amy Rodriguez was put in charge of selecting the crew that would go to the alien demonstration. She had to choose 300 people from all of Earth's military forces. They needed to be the best soldiers, the best pilots, and the best technical experts that humanity could offer. "We're not just representing Earth," Amy told her selection committee. "We're representing every human who ever lived and every human who will be born in the future. We need people who won't back down, no matter what they see out there." The selection process took a week. When it was over, Amy had her team. They came from 20 different countries and spoke a dozen different languages, but they all had one thing in common. They were all ready to fight for their home world. On the final day before departure, Jake stood in the hangar looking at the ships that would carry Earth's representatives to their meeting with the Galactic Council. The vessels were beautiful and deadly, with smooth black hulls that seemed to absorb light. They looked nothing like the clumsy rockets that had first carried humans to the moon. Lisa Carter walked up beside him. "Nervous?" she asked. "Terrified," Jake admitted, "but also excited. For 50 years we've wondered if we were alone in the universe. Now we know we're not. And we're about to show them that humans are not going to be pushed around. The aliens think they're calling us to judgment," Lisa said with a small smile. "They have no idea that they're the ones who are about to be judged." The next morning, Earth's fleet would launch for the most important mission in human history. 300 men and women would carry the hopes and dreams of 8 billion people. They would show the galaxy that humanity was ready to take its place among the stars, whether the aliens liked it or not. The underground facility in Nevada was busier than it had ever been. Colonel Ryan Brooks walked through the long metal hallways, watching soldiers prepare for the most important mission in human history. The base was 3 miles below the desert surface, hidden from satellites and curious eyes. Ryan stopped at the first training room and looked through the glass window. Inside, 20 soldiers were practicing combat moves that looked impossible. They moved faster than normal humans, jumping higher and reacting quicker than anyone should be able to do. Sergeant Major Carlos Martinez noticed Ryan watching and came over to explain. "These soldiers have been training for 3 years, sir. The computer chips in their brains let them share information instantly. When one soldier sees an enemy, all 20 soldiers know about it at the same time." "How do they handle the mental stress?" Ryan asked. "Better than we expected," Carlos replied. "The chips don't change who they are. They just make them better at being soldiers. Private Danny Kim over there used to be a regular army mechanic. Now he can repair alien technology that he's never seen before, just by touching it." Ryan watched Danny work on a strange device that had been built using alien science principles. The young soldier's hands moved with perfect precision, as if he had been doing this work his entire life. In the next room, Lieutenant Commander Helen Davis was testing the new spacecraft systems. She had been a Navy pilot for 10 years before, joining the secret space program. Now she was training crews to fly ships that could travel between stars. The antimatter engines are working perfectly, Helen told her team. We can accelerate to half the speed of light in just 2 minutes. The aliens expect us to have slow, clumsy ships like our early space shuttles. They're going to be very surprised. Captain Tony Miller, one of the pilots selected for the mission, raised his hand. Commander, what about weapons? The aliens probably have shields and armor that can stop anything we've used before. Helen smiled and pressed a button on her control panel. A holographic display showed a weapon that looked like a small metal tube. This is a quantum disruptor, she explained. It doesn't shoot bullets or lasers. Instead, it changes the basic structure of whatever it hits. Alien armor becomes as weak as paper. Alien shields just disappear. The pilots in the room looked at each other with amazement. They had trained with conventional weapons for years, but this was something completely different. Meanwhile, in another part of the base, Dr. Emma Thompson was working with her team on the most secret project of all. She was a physicist who had spent 15 years studying alien signals, trying to understand how their technology worked. We've made a breakthrough, Emma told Dr. Alex Turner, her research partner. The aliens use quantum fields to power their ships and weapons, but we've figured out how to turn those fields off. Alex looked at the device Emma was holding. It was small enough to fit in his hand, but it contained technology that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. How does it work? Alex asked. It creates what we call a null field, Emma explained. Any technology that uses quantum energy just stops working when it gets close to this device. The aliens won't be able to fire their weapons or move their ships. Dr. Peter Williams joined them in the lab. He looked tired but excited. How many of these devices can we build before the mission? We already have 50 ready, Emma replied. Each ship will carry 2 of them, plus some extras for the ground teams. Peter nodded with satisfaction. Perfect. The aliens think they're going to see primitive humans with simple weapons. Instead, they're going to see technology that makes their own equipment look ancient. In the medical bay, Dr. Sarah Mitchell was doing final health checks on the enhanced soldiers. Each soldier had undergone months of physical and mental preparation before receiving their computer implants. How do you feel, Corporal? Sarah asked Patricia Lopez, one of the soldiers selected for the mission. Different, but good, Patricia replied. I can think faster and see things more clearly. It's like having perfect vision and hearing all the time. And when I'm with my team, I can feel what they're thinking. Sarah made notes on her tablet. The enhancement process had worked better than anyone expected. The soldiers were still human, but they were human, plus something more. Captain Amy Rodriguez arrived at the base on a cold Thursday morning. She had spent the last week visiting military installations around the world, selecting the final team members for the mission. Colonel Brooks, Amy said as she found Ryan in the main briefing room. I've chosen our ground team leaders. They come from 12 different countries, but they all speak perfect English and they all have experience with advanced technology. Good, Ryan replied. What about the space combat specialists? Lieutenant Commander Davis has trained 30 pilots who can fly anything, Amy said. They've practiced in simulators that copy alien ship designs. They know how to fight in zero gravity and how to use our new weapons. That afternoon, the entire team gathered in the largest meeting room in the base. 300 men and women sat in rows, listening as Admiral Lisa Carter explained their mission. In 2 weeks, we will travel to the Galactic Council's demonstration site, Lisa began. We will be surrounded by alien ships that could destroy our entire planet if they wanted to. But we're not going there to surrender. We're going there to show them that humans are not afraid. Sergeant First Class Bobby Chen raised his hand. Admiral, what if they attack us during the demonstration? Then we fight. Lisa replied simply. But I don't think they will. The aliens are curious about us. They want to see what we can do before they make their final decision about Earth. Captain Kevin Wright, another pilot, spoke up. Ma'am, some of us are worried about our families back home. What happens to Earth if something goes wrong? Lisa's expression became serious. Earth will be fine. This mission is not just about showing our military strength. It's about showing the aliens that humans are smart, brave, and ready to be part of the galactic community. If we do this right, Our planet will be safer than it has ever been. The next 2 weeks passed quickly. Every day brought new training, sessions, and equipment tests. The soldiers practiced working together using their enhanced abilities. The pilots learned to fly the advanced ships in formation. The technical teams made sure every weapon and device was working perfectly. Dr. Williams spent most of his time in the weapons lab, making final adjustments to the quantum disruptors and null field generators. He knew that Earth's survival might depend on these devices working exactly as designed. "Are you nervous?" Dr. Thompson asked him during one of their late-night work sessions. "Terrified," Peter admitted, but also proud. 50 years ago, humans barely understood how to put a satellite in orbit. Now we're building technology that can challenge civilizations that have existed for millions of years. Emma nodded. "The aliens made a mistake when they gave us 30 days to prepare. They thought we would spend that time being scared. Instead, we've used it to get ready for war." On the final day before departure, Jake Morrison visited the base to wish the team good luck. He walked through the hangar, looking at the sleek black ships that would carry Earth's representatives to their meeting with Destiny. "These ships don't look like anything humans have ever built before," Jake said to Amy Rodriguez. "That's because they're not just human technology," Amy replied. "We've taken everything we learned from studying alien signals and combined it with human engineering. The result is something completely new." Jake watched the soldiers loading equipment into the ships. They moved with confidence and purpose, not like people going to their doom, but like people going to claim their rightful place in the universe. Tomorrow, Earth's fleet would leave the solar system for the first time in human history. They would face challenges that no human had ever imagined, but they were ready. The Earth fleet left orbit on a clear Monday morning. Captain Amy Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance, watching her home planet grow smaller through the view screen. Behind her, the blue and green world looked peaceful and beautiful. Ahead of her lay the unknown darkness of deep space. "All ships report ready for jump to hyperspace," Lieutenant Commander Helen Davis announced from her position at the navigation console. "We have a clear path to the first checkpoint." Amy nodded. "Take us out, Helen. It's time to show the galaxy what humans can do." The ship shuddered slightly as the antimatter engines engaged. Outside the view screen, the stars began to stretch into long lines of light as the human fleet entered hyperspace for the first time. They were traveling faster than light, heading toward their meeting with the Galactic Council. The journey would take them through 12 different star systems, each one controlled by a different alien civilization. Amy knew that hostile eyes would be watching them every step of the way. 2 days into the journey, the first contact came. Colonel Ryan Brooks was in the ship's war room when the communication officer called him. "Sir, we're getting scanned by an unknown vessel," reported Petty Officer Nancy White. "It's following us at a distance of about 10,000 kilometers." Ryan looked at the tactical display. The alien ship was huge, at least 3 times the size of the Defiance. Its hull was covered with strange symbols that glowed with purple light. "Any idea what species it belongs to?" Ryan asked. Dr. Peter Williams, who was serving as the mission's science advisor, checked his database. "Based on the energy signature, I'd say it's a Zephyrian Empire patrol ship. They're known for having the most advanced weapons in the galaxy." Amy joined them in the war room. "What do they want?" "They're trying to scan our ships," Peter explained. "They want to know what kind of technology we're using. But our stealth systems are working perfectly. They can see us, but they can't figure out how our ships work." The alien ship followed them for 6 hours, running every kind of scan imaginable. Ryan watched the tactical display with amusement as the aliens became more and more frustrated. "They keep increasing their scanner power," Nancy reported, "but they're not getting any useful information about us." "Good," Amy said. "Let them wonder. The more confused they are now, the bigger the surprise will be later." On the 3rd day, they encountered their second alien contact. This time it was a crystal ship from the Vortani Collective. The vessel looked like a giant diamond floating in space, with rainbow colors dancing across its surface. Sergeant Major Carlos Martinez was training his soldiers in the ship's gym when the alert came. He rushed to the bridge to find Amy and her officers studying the tactical display. "This one's different," Helen Davis reported. "The Vortani ship isn't trying to scan us. It's trying to communicate with our computers directly." "Can they break through our firewalls?" Amy asked. Dr. Emma Thompson, who was monitoring the ship's computer systems, shook her head. "Not a chance. Our computer networks use quantum encryption that changes every few seconds. Even if they could break the code, it would be different by the time they figured it out." The crystal ship tried for 12 hours to hack into the human computers. When it finally gave up and flew away, Amy allowed herself a small smile. The aliens were learning that humans were not as primitive as they had expected. By the end of the first week, word had spread throughout the galaxy that something unusual was happening. The human fleet was being shadowed by ships from every major alien civilization, and none of them could figure out how human technology worked. Commander Jake Morrison, who was serving as the mission's diplomatic officer, started receiving messages from various alien governments. The messages were all similar. They wanted to know if humans would be interested in forming alliances or trade agreements. "Admiral Carter is going to love this," Jake told Amy during their daily briefing. "The aliens are already treating us like equals, and we haven't even demonstrated our military capabilities yet." The most interesting encounter came during the second week. The human fleet was passing through a system controlled by the hegemony, one of the oldest and most powerful alien civilizations in the galaxy. Their ships were massive, dark vessels that looked like they had been grown rather than built. 3. Hegemony dreadnoughts moved to intercept the human fleet. Each ship was the size of a small city with weapons that could destroy planets. Amy ordered her fleet to maintain course and speed. "They're hailing us," reported communications specialist Mark Davis. "Put them through," Amy replied. The view screen flickered, and an alien face appeared. The creature looked like it was made of liquid metal with eyes that glowed like stars. When it spoke, the translation came through clearly. "Human vessels. You will stop and submit to inspection. You're primitive. Technology poses a danger to civilized space traffic." Amy stood up and faced the screen. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Force. We are traveling to the Galactic Council demonstration under official orders. We will not stop or submit to inspection." The alien's metal face shifted into what might have been surprise. "You dare refuse the hegemony? Your small ships are no match for our dreadnoughts." "You're welcome to test that theory," Amy replied calmly. "But I should warn you that attacking a diplomatic mission might not look good when we report to the Galactic Council." For a long moment, the alien said nothing. Then its face shifted again, possibly into respect. "You show courage, human. Perhaps your species is not as primitive as we believed. You may continue." The hegemony ships moved aside, allowing the human fleet to pass. Amy could hear her crew cheering in the background, but she kept her expression neutral until the view screen went dark. "Well done, Captain," Ryan said quietly. "You just faced down 3 of the most powerful warships in the galaxy." "It was a bluff," Amy admitted. "If they had attacked, we would have had to fight our way out. I'm glad they decided to back down." "Maybe it wasn't entirely a bluff," Dr. Williams said thoughtfully. "Our ships are equipped with technology they've never seen before. They might have been more worried about us than they let on." As the fleet continued its journey, more and more alien ships appeared to watch them pass. Word was spreading that the humans were different from any species the galaxy had encountered before. Their ships used unknown technology, their crews showed no fear, and their captain had faced down the hegemony without backing down. Lieutenant Tony Miller, one of the fighter pilots, was conducting a routine patrol around the fleet when he noticed something interesting. "Captain, I'm seeing a lot of alien communication traffic. They're all talking about us." Amy asked Dr. Thompson to monitor the alien communications. What she learned was fascinating. "They're calling us the mystery species," Emma reported. "Some of them think we're refugees from another galaxy. Others think we're time travelers from the future. A few are convinced that we're artificial beings created by some unknown civilization. None of them suspect that we're just humans who have been very busy for the last 50 years, Amy said with satisfaction. On the final day of their journey, the human fleet approached the demonstration site. It was a space station the size of a small moon, orbiting a gas giant in a system that belonged to no single alien civilization. Ships from all 12 council member species were already there, waiting. Amy stood on the bridge, looking at the massive alien fleet through the view screen. There were hundreds of ships, representing millions of years of technological development and military tradition. They were here to judge whether humanity deserved to keep its homeworld. "All ships, this is Captain Rodriguez," Amy announced over the fleet communication system. "We've come a long way to get here. Tomorrow we show the galaxy what it means to be human. Get some rest tonight. Tomorrow we make history." As the human fleet moved into position near the alien station, Amy felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. In a few hours, the most important demonstration in human history would begin. The Galactic Council station was bigger than anything humans had ever built. It hung in space like a mechanical moon, its surface covered with towers and domes that represented 12 different alien civilizations. Captain Amy Rodriguez stared at it through the view screen, knowing that inside that station beings from across the galaxy were waiting to judge her species. "Captain, we're receiving a communication from the station," reported communications specialist Mark Davis. "They want us to take position in the demonstration area," Amy nodded. "All ships, follow my lead. Stay in formation and remember your training." The human fleet moved slowly toward the designated area. Around them, alien warships watched every movement. These were not patrol vessels or scouts. These were the most powerful military ships in the galaxy, each one capable of destroying entire planets. Colonel Ryan Brooks joined Amy on the bridge. "The alien fleet is impressive," he said quietly. "I count over 300 ships from 12 different species. They want us to be intimidated," Amy replied. "They think if we see their power, we'll surrender without a fight." Dr. Peter Williams was monitoring the alien communications. "Captain, they're discussing us on their private channels. Most of them still think we're just primitive humans with basic technology." "Good," Amy said. "Let them keep thinking that for a few more minutes." Inside the council station, the 12 alien leaders were taking their places in the main chamber. The room was enormous, with each species having its own section designed for their specific needs. Some aliens needed water to breathe. Others required intense heat, and a few existed as pure energy. High Counselor Zethkri of the Hegemony was the first to speak. His body was made of contained plasma that glowed with fierce light. "Fellow council members, we are here to judge whether the human species deserves to keep their world. From what we have observed, they are a young and primitive race." Counselor Vextar of the Zephyrian Empire disagreed. Her crystal form sparkled as she spoke. "Something is strange about these humans. Our most advanced scanners cannot penetrate their ship hulls. Their technology signatures do not match anything in our databases." "Impossible," rumbled Counselor Gorth of the Stone Lords. His massive rock body shook the floor when he moved. "No species develops advanced technology so quickly. They have been spacefaring for less than 100 years. The council chamber fell silent as Amy's voice came through the communication system. Her words were calm and confident. "Members of the Galactic Council, this is Captain Amy Rodriguez representing the people of Earth. You have asked us to demonstrate our military capabilities. We are ready to begin." Counselor Zethkri's plasma form flickered with what might have been amusement. "Begin your demonstration, primitive ones. Show us your simple weapons so we can proceed with your relocation." Amy smiled, though the aliens could not see her face. "Phase 1 will demonstrate our reconnaissance capabilities." 20 human fighter ships launched from the main fleet. They were sleek and black, moving in perfect formation toward the center of the demonstration area. The alien observers watched with mild interest, expecting to see a basic flight display. Then something impossible happened. One by one, the human fighters began to disappear. Not destroyed, not damaged, just gone. The alien sensors showed empty space where the ships had been a moment before. "What is happening?" demanded Counselor Vextar. "Where did their ships go?" Her question was answered when weapons fire suddenly appeared from nowhere. The invisible human fighters were shooting at target drones, destroying them with perfect accuracy while remaining completely unseen. Dr. Emma Thompson was monitoring the alien communications from her station on the Defiance. "Captain, the aliens are panicking. Their sensors can't track our phased fighters at all." Lieutenant Commander Helen Davis was coordinating the demonstration from her position. "Phase 1 complete, Captain. The fighters are operating in parallel dimension space while maintaining full combat effectiveness." Amy spoke to the Council again. "Our fighters can move between dimensions, making them invisible to conventional sensors. They can attack from any direction without warning." The Council chamber erupted in confused sounds as the various alien species tried to understand what they had witnessed. Their most advanced technology could not detect the human ships, yet those same ships were demonstrating perfect combat capabilities. "Impossible," Counselor Gorth repeated, but his voice was no longer certain. "No species has ever mastered dimensional manipulation technology." "Phase 2 begins now," Amy announced. The human fleet began to change. Each ship started creating copies of itself, using advanced holographic projection combined with solid matter manipulation. Within minutes, the 50-ship human fleet had become a 500-ship armada. Sergeant Major Carlos Martinez was coordinating the ground forces demonstration from the war room. "Captain, our enhanced soldiers are ready for their part of the display." "Proceed, Sergeant Major," Amy replied. Shuttles launched from the human ships carrying teams of enhanced soldiers to a nearby asteroid. The aliens watched as the humans landed and began to set up equipment at impossible speed. Private Danny Kim worked alongside his enhanced teammates, his computer implant allowing him to coordinate perfectly with the others. Within 10 minutes, they had built a complete military base on the asteroid's surface. "How are they working so fast?" asked Counselor Mirren of the Aquatic Federation, her water-filled chamber bubbling with excitement. The answer came when the human soldiers began to demonstrate their enhanced abilities. They moved faster than normal humans, jumped higher, and reacted to threats before they even appeared on sensors. Dr. Williams was ready for Phase 3. "Captain, the null field generators are online and ready for testing." "Begin Phase 3, Amy ordered. This was the moment that would change everything. The UES Defiance began to emit a strange energy field that expanded outward toward the alien observation ships. As the field reached each alien vessel, something extraordinary happened. The ships simply stopped working, not destroyed, not damaged, but completely powerless. Their engines went quiet, their weapon systems shut down, and their life support switched to emergency backup power. Counselor Zethkri's plasma form began to flicker wildly. "Impossible. Our quantum field generators have stopped functioning." "What is this technology?" demanded Counselor Vextar, her crystal body dimming as her ship's power systems failed. Amy's voice came through the communication system, calm and steady. "This is a null energy field. It neutralizes quantum technology within its range. Your ships are not damaged. They will return to full power once we turn off the field." The council chamber fell into absolute silence. For the first time in millions of years, the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy had encountered technology that made their own weapons and ships completely useless. Dr. Williams was monitoring the alien responses from his science station. "Captain, they're trying everything they can think of to restart their systems. Nothing is working." Captain Tony Miller, flying one of the human fighters, reported over the communication system. "All alien ships are dead in space, Captain. They're completely helpless." Amy knew this was the crucial moment. The aliens now understood that humanity was not primitive or helpless. But she had one more surprise to show them. "Phase 4 will demonstrate our most advanced capabilities," Amy announced. The human flagship began to manipulate the fundamental forces of space itself. Tiny black holes appeared and disappeared under perfect human control, showing mastery over gravity and spacetime that the aliens had thought impossible. Counselor Gorth's massive stone body trembled. "They are controlling gravitational fields. Such technology should require millions of years to develop." "How long has your species been studying these sciences?" Counselor Zethkri asked. his voice now showing respect instead of condescension. Amy's reply sent shockwaves through the council chamber. Humanity has been spacefaring for less than 100 years. But we have been fighting wars for thousands of years. We learned to innovate because our survival depended on it. The demonstration area fell silent as the implications sank in. The aliens had ruled the galaxy through superior technology, but they had forgotten how to think like warriors. Humanity had spent their entire history learning to overcome impossible odds. As the null field was turned off and the alien ships slowly came back to life, Amy prepared for her final statement. The demonstration was almost over, but the real test was just beginning. The silence in space was complete. Around the demonstration area, hundreds of alien warships floated powerless, their crews working frantically to understand what had just happened to them. Inside the Galactic Council Station, 12 of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy sat in stunned silence. Captain Amy Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance, watching the alien fleet through her view screen. She knew that the next few minutes would determine the future of humanity. The demonstration was over, but the real test was just beginning. "Captain," reported Dr. Peter Williams from his science station, "the alien ships are slowly coming back, online. Their quantum systems are restarting now that we've turned off the null field." "Good," Amy replied. "We don't want them to think we're here to destroy them. We're here to earn their respect." High Counselor Zethkri was the first to speak, from the council chamber. His plasma form flickered with uncertainty as his words came through the communication system. "Human Captain, what you have shown us should be impossible. No species developed such advanced technology in less than 100 years. How have you achieved this?" Amy had been preparing for this question throughout the journey. Her answer would need to be honest but also strategic. "Counselor Zethkri, humanity has always faced impossible challenges. For thousands of years, we have survived by learning to adapt and innovate. When we first detected alien signals 50 years ago, we knew that someday we would need to prove ourselves worthy of joining the galactic community." Counselor Vextar of the Zephyrian Empire spoke next, her crystal voice filled with confusion. "But our observations of your species showed only primitive rocket technology and basic weapons. How did you hide such advanced capabilities from us?" Colonel Ryan Brooks joined Amy at the communication station. He had been chosen to help answer the technical questions that were sure to come. "We learned early that the galaxy was watching us," Ryan explained. "So we made sure you only saw what we wanted you to see. Our public space program used old technology while our military developed new sciences in secret." Dr. Emma Thompson was monitoring the alien communication channels and updating Amy on their private discussions. "Captain, they're debating among themselves. Some want to welcome us immediately. Others are worried that we're too dangerous to trust." Counselor Gorth of the Stone Lords rumbled his massive voice through the speakers. "Your technology is impressive. Humans. But power without wisdom is dangerous. How do we know you will use these capabilities responsibly?" This was the question Amy had been hoping for. She gestured to Sergeant Major Carlos Martinez, who began broadcasting video from the human ships. "Look at our crews, Counselor Gorth," Amy said. "We have men and women from 20 different countries working together as one team. Our soldiers come from different cultures, speak different languages, and worship different gods. But they are united in protecting their homeworld and seeking peace with their neighbors." The video showed human soldiers helping each other with equipment, scientists from different nations sharing research, and pilots from various countries flying in perfect formation. "On Earth, we have learned to work together despite our differences," Amy continued. "We believe the same principle can work on a galactic scale." Counselor Mirren of the Aquatic Federation bubbled with interest. "Your species shows remarkable cooperation for such a young civilization. But cooperation alone does not prove peaceful intentions." Lieutenant Commander Helen Davis took over the communication. "Counselor Myron, if we wanted to conquer the galaxy, we could have started by attacking your observation ships during our journey here. Instead, we chose to demonstrate our capabilities in a controlled environment where no one would be harmed." "That is true," admitted Counselor Lorhan of the Energy Beings. You could have used your dimensional technology to launch surprise attacks on any of our worlds. Instead, you came here openly and honestly. Jake Morrison, serving as the mission's diplomatic officer, added his voice to the conversation. Members of the Council, humanity requests the opportunity to prove ourselves through actions, not just words. Give us a chance to show that we can be valuable partners in maintaining galactic peace. The council chamber fell silent again as the alien leaders considered this request. Amy waited patiently, knowing that this moment would determine whether humanity joined the galactic community as equals or faced forced relocation to some distant world. Finally, Counselor Zethkri spoke again. Human Captain, your demonstration has shown us that your species possesses technology that surpasses our own in several areas. This is unprecedented. More than unprecedented, added Counselor Vextar. In our recorded history, no species has ever developed dimensional manipulation, null field generation, and gravitational control in such a short time period. Dr. Williams had prepared for questions about human scientific development. Counselors, humanity has always been curious about how the universe works. When we realized we were not alone, we focused all of our scientific efforts on understanding the physics that would allow us to travel among the stars. But how did you discover these advanced principles so quickly? Asked Counselor Gorth. We started with your own transmissions, Dr. Williams explained. By studying alien communication signals, we learned about quantum field theory, dimensional physics, and gravitational manipulation. Then we used human creativity to find new applications for these sciences. The aliens were quiet for a long moment as they processed this information. They had been broadcasting their advanced knowledge across the galaxy for millions of years, never considering that a young species might use that information to develop new technologies. You used our own science against us, Counselor Zethkri said, and Amy could hear something like admiration in his voice. We used your science to join you, Amy corrected gently. Everything we have learned, we are willing to share with the galactic community. Humanity believes that cooperation and shared knowledge make everyone stronger. Counselor Mirren bubbled with excitement. Sharing technology between species could advance all of our civilizations by centuries. It could also be dangerous, warned Counselor Gorth. What if this knowledge falls into the wrong hands? Amy had an answer for this concern as well. That's exactly why the galaxy needs a strong council to maintain peace and order. Humanity wants to be part of that system, not outside of it. The debate among the council members continued for another hour. Amy and her crew waited patiently while the aliens discussed humanity's fate in languages that spanned the galaxy. Finally, the council reached their decision. Counselor Zethkri's plasma form brightened as he spoke the words that would change human history forever. The Galactic Council has made its decision. The human species will be granted full membership in the galactic community, with all rights and responsibilities that entails. Your home world of Earth will remain under human control, and your species will be given territory in 3 star systems for future expansion. The human crew erupted in cheers, but Amy maintained her composure. We are honored by your decision, counselors. Humanity looks forward to contributing to galactic peace and prosperity. However, Counselor Zethkri continued, there is one condition. Your species must agree to serve as the Council's rapid response force for situations requiring advanced military intervention. Amy smiled. The aliens were not just accepting humanity as equals. They were asking humans to help protect the galaxy. We accept, Amy replied without hesitation. Earth stands ready to defend the peace. As the communication ended and the human fleet prepared to return home, Amy looked out at the alien ships surrounding them. No longer enemies or judges, they were now allies and partners in maintaining the safety of countless worlds. The journey back to Earth would be very different from their trip to the demonstration. They would return not as representatives of a primitive species seeking acceptance, but as the newest members of the galactic community. Humanity had claimed its place among the stars, and the galaxy would never be the same again.